Good morning, and what a fabulous day it is today as well. And welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. It's 9:05 in the morning, and it's an absolutely beautiful day ahead, I reckon. It's sunny, it's the crack of clock, and I'm out in a t-shirt, so you can tell how warm it is when you know how nesh I am. And Mary's Shell is slightly submerged. The promenade at Cleveleys is looking gorgeous. And I'm going to a meeting in Cleveleys this morning at 9:30. So I thought I would make an early morning walk along Cleveleys Seafront video while it's quiet and the water's gently lapping against the edge of the shore, and it's all lovely. It's lovely all day, but at this time of the day I think it's particularly special. So if you're new in these parts, make sure that you've subscribed, hit that little bell for the notifications, and give this video a like. Without any more ado, we will go and see what we can see on this absolutely fine, glorious morning. What a superb day. I think the tide's just starting to go out. There's a tiny little bit of beach and it's quite wet, so I think it must be on its way out. And this is Mary's Shell. This is one of several pieces of public art on the seafront at Cleveleys. It's a while since we had a walk on Cleveleys Seafront, so I thought we'd do it today while everything's looking fresh and clean and early morning-ish. So this is one of the pieces of the Mythic Coast trail, and there's loads of information about this on our Visit Cleveleys website, including what it is, how it was installed, when it was installed, how it was made, all that kind of stuff. And the other pieces, this is the northernmost end of the trail, and the other pieces are further down there towards the town centre, and you can just see Blackpool Tower in the distance and North Pier. It's quite clear this morning actually. This is the famous cafe where Star Wars Andor was filmed, looking all futuristic and science fiction-y in the morning light, because of course the sun rises in the east, which is over there, which is why it's over that side, and then it sets at the back of us, and the sunsets here are absolutely delightful they are. And there's all little bits of shell and pretty stones all washed up onto the strand line. This stepped sea defence goes all the way down to Cleveleys town centre and the boundary with Blackpool. And this is, well, its primary function is as a sea defence. So the waves literally climb up the steps as they come in and lose all their energy. But the benefit of it is that you get this amazing public realm, and there's unlimited seating spots. So when you want to come to the beach, you can park at weekends at Jubilee Gardens still. It's closed during the week for the sea defence works, but there's the cafe here, there's the toilets, there's the little splash part, there's a little shower thing, look, for you to wash your feet off. This under here, press the button and you can wash your feet, and you can just see the little splash thing there, look. So this is a nice convenient spot for you to do all your necessary things. And then you can come and sit on the steps while the little ones play in the water and play on the beach, and you can enjoy the sun. So the sun comes round, and at this time of year it's setting way over there. So this is the Lake District and Barrow that you can see in the distance. Just see the wind farm out at sea. It's a little bit hazy so you might not be able to see it. That's pretty much west. And in winter, the sun's setting right down here, so you can see what a difference the year makes. So these slightly space-age shelters mark the access points for the promenade. So if you're walking along the beach, slow down and you've lost sight of exactly where you are, these mark the gateways, and then the gateways take you out onto the main road. So this is the main road from Cleveleys town centre down there, and if you follow this road round, it takes you to Fleetwood if you carry on, but you need to turn back to the main road. And this is the compound for the Y Beach Management Scheme, which if you've been watching our videos you'll know all about. And these rusty delights are the storm gates, not in a fabulous state of repair but very necessary nonetheless. When the waves are coming up and they're bashing over the top on a bad day in winter, you're grateful that they're closed. Now I'm looking at that groin there, and you see there's a wooden groin that comes from the steps. It ends in a rock groin, and just towards the right hand end of it there's a stone stuck up. That is the top of the ogre's head. So I'm going to just zoom in, and then you know exactly where you're looking for him. There you go, there he is. He's just peeping out of the water. So he's the ogre from the sea swallow story that's part of the Mythic Coast storybook. You'll notice on this beach, like every other beach in the country, there's a dog ban during the summer season. And this little table here, if you've never seen one, is a tide table. So this tells you how the water comes in and out and gives you the information about when you're going to get cut off. So outside bathing season you can take your dogs on this beach, but in summer you can't. You may get a ticket. Beyond the cafe where the egg whisks are, the shingle beach going that way is not subject to a dog restriction order. So you can take your dog on that shingle beach at any time during the year. And miserable rule, I know, if you've got a dog and you're a responsible dog owner, but like everything, it's always the thoughtless minority that spoil it for everybody. And the dog ban is in place to make sure that excessive levels of bacteria don't contaminate the water, make it unsuitable for swimming, and generally unpleasant for all the people that are using the beach, because believe it or not, for how lovely and quiet it is at the moment, it gets really quite busy. It gets quite busy along this stretch. It does. And at the moment we're just enjoying the peace and tranquility. I particularly like this shelter, which is straight in front of the gym and the cinema. Here's another one of those storm gates, look, for when the weather's bad. And the reason I particularly like this one is because you can walk round. You can walk round the outside of it in a bit of a sort of prow of a ship type moment. And when you stand here and look out, it's a really nice view, and it gets a little bit of shade as well from the roof. Just look at that for a view. It's quite amazing, that. And then you carry on round, and the idea of these is that all these seats form in different directions, with the backrests providing shelter against the rain and the wind or the sun, depending on which way it's blowing and depending on the time of day. And I can testify that they do actually work, because myself and Kevin were on the prom one day. I can't remember why, but we'd set off walking and it started raining. And when I say rain, I mean rain. And we dashed to the back of one of those shelters, I can tell you. And it did work, it did work. So this next piece up here is the ogre's paddle. Now he's a very big ogre. Perhaps couldn't quite get the scale of him while he's underwater and a bit further down the beach, but because he's such a big ogre, he needs a big paddle. So this is his paddle, and it's illustrated with scenes from the story, and then on the back it says, "See ogre's paddle drifted up to lie on the muddy sand like some strange offering." There you go. So you can sit on that. You can sit on the arm of it, and you can take your selfies with the view in the background look. And then when you post them on social media, don't forget to hashtag them with Love Cleveleys. In fact, while I'm giving reminders out, don't forget to sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter as well. And then you'll get notifications about all kinds of events and interesting things to do and local history and just general interesting news and stuff from Fleetwood, Cleveleys, Blackpool, St Anne's and Lytham. When it was built during the design and build phase, it was known as the Cleveleys New Wave project, and when you stand at the edge of the seafront, especially on a quiet morning when there's not many people around, you can see why, because it follows such a curvaceous shape as it makes its way along the seafront, and all of the curves of the stepped sea defences are all reflected in the columns and the intermittent wave walls. These are really useful for seats, for just sitting on. They're just at sitting height, but they're actually a part of the sea defence. So the idea is that if any waves make it to the top of the steps, they trickle up onto this flat area, lose their energy and lose their momentum, and then the next thing that they hit is this. So if they've really come with a right whack and they've come further up, they will hit these intermediate little walls which will send them back. And then this rear wall here is the last line of defence for any really big waves on a really bad day. And yes, we do get them from time to time. You would never build a sea wall that is capable of holding out every storm, because number one, you would never afford to pay for it, and number two, it would be that high we might as well not be at the seaside. So while we're doing a guide to sea defences, I thought I'd just point this out, because I bet quite a few of you have spotted it. So this is a radar, and it's right at the end of Victoria Road West, which is the main shopping street in Cleveleys, just there where the cars are coming up and down. And it's not looking out for planes landing or anything weird like that. It's actually recording and monitoring the height of the beach. It's all very complicated, you know. There's another one at the end of Chatsworth Avenue, heading back where we've come from towards Fleetwood, and those two radar patterns overlap so that they've got a picture of the whole of this stretch of coastline and how the sand and the pebbles and the shingle is moving up and down, and that's how they plot and predict and plan what they're going to do for beach management works and for maintaining the sea defences, and when we get funding and projects to replace sections like 10 years ago when all this was built. So that's where that clever information comes from. And this lovely thing is the sea swallow sculpture. So this is the namesake of the of the storybook with the sea swallows flying high above. And you can actually see this right from the other end of Victoria Road West when you're at Morrison's roundabout, when you're coming down into Cleveleys from the main road. And I'm going to just show you which direction that's in. So next time you come round Morrison's roundabout, when you come into Cleveleys, just look straight through the gap towards the sea down here, and you'll be able to see this graceful white structure. And this is the key piece of the sea swallow story. It's now 25 past 11. So I've finished my meeting. I am at the boundary of Cleveleys where it meets Blackpool. So the road just at the back of there is Kingsway that goes that way towards the tram line. And this is Princess Promenade. And this is actually Blackpool Local Authority. So heading that way is Blackpool Local Authority. And if we just walk this way, you can just see the tower. But when we get a little bit further around the curve, I'll show you where the view of the tower. So this is where also the sea defence has changed shape as well. So we've got these block wavebreaker units here, and they turn into the steps at Cleveleys. So they both do a similar kind of job. They're just a different design. It's just a different way of building it. You'll say tomato and I say tomato. And the boundary of Blackpool is also where the shipwreck memorial is as well. So this big, tall piece of steel lists all of the ships that have been wrecked off this coast going back to 1600 blob. So we go back to 1660, 1643, unidentified ship wrecked near Fleetwood during the Civil War. And this is made out of a material called Corten steel. And it is actually designed to rust. So you can see here where it's started to flake and the layers have come off. And that is deliberate so that it looks like a rusty wreck. And that's got all the names started at the top. So unidentified 1643 is right up there. And somewhere down here is the river dance. And I can never find it. I can never find it when I look for it. There you go. MS River Dance. 2008. Goodness, it seems like yesterday. And when you look through the middle of the hole, when the tide goes out a bit further, just down here, you can see the remains of the Abana, which is also on this memorial. And since we made our journey the other way this morning, the tide is now going out. So this is the kind of southern end of Cleveleys Promenade and Seafront. We're going to approach the sea swallow from the other end. It's a gorgeous day. That breeze is nice. It's really warm in the town centre. Still can't quite see the tower properly, but you will a little bit further up when the coastline curves. This takes me back. There's been umpteen school trips on Cleveleys Seafront in the last few weeks. So these are obviously measuring beach elevations. And I'm laughing because I remember ever so clearly going to Whitby, Flamborough Head and Spain Point, doing the same kind of thing. Oh goodness me, it's stuck in my mind like glued in that experience. At least they've got really nice weather for it. It's perfect weather to be coming doing this kind of thing. And a lovely beach as well to boot. And here we are back at the Sea Swallow, which we left at 9:30 as I went shooting off to my meeting. So these strange curvy things are benches, and they're actually really comfy. So you can find a curve and sit in it and lay in it to sunbathe. And they're actually a lot more comfortable than you might think they are. And that's the busy little town centre look, with all its all its shoppers out enjoying the sunshine, and it is busy as well, I can tell you. And now that the day is warmed up, Terry's back in residence, the ice cream man, our friend Terry. And it's getting more busy. There's more people about. And bearing in mind it's Tuesday morning and not the weekend, quite a few people around. Gorgeous, absolutely lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed our little walking tour of Cleveleys Seafront on a beautiful day with its Mythic Coast trail. It's endless seating and places for you to just sit a minute and take a rest. The lovely views, the lovely beach, and everything that makes it great. It's the centre of the universe. It's the centre of my universe anyway. Oh, I was going to show you the view to Blackpool, wasn't I? So as we stand here and you've got the curve of the coastline in the right place, you can see it bending outwards. So there's the tower there, Norbreck Castle to its left, and that's an even better spot to show you the view from at the end of the next curved headland. I'm trying not to wobble. There's a little bit of a breeze getting up. It's actually a fair old distance away. So, as I was saying, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed this little walk along the seafront and beach. Make sure that you've subscribed. Make sure that you've hit the little bell for notifications. Make sure that you've signed up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. And then you'll get all the latest information and events and all the rest of it. So until next time, from beautiful Cleveleys Seafront on an absolutely gorgeous day, we will bid you a good day and we will see you soon. Bye for now.